Hello, I'm Bobs, and if you already know me, you'll know I'm a lover of the weird, the creepy, and the unusual, which obviously includes cryptids. So, I decided to start a series here I'm calling Cryptid Corner, where I will dive into the depths of specific cryptids, explaining the lore, the legends, and what I think about them. Here with me today is my sister, Andy.
Hi, guys.
She's going to be kind of my background commentary here. Before we start, if you don't know what a cryptid is, cryptids are animals or creatures that are believed to exist mainly by cryptozoologists or people who study or search up for unknown, legendary, or extinct animals, but there is no definitive proof of their existence.
I have a question.
What's the question?
What are some, for reference for, someone like me who doesn't really know much about cryptids, what are some of the more well-known ones that everybody might know of?
The first one that comes to mind is Bigfoot. Bigfoot, Mothman is a well-known one, the Loch Ness Monster. Those are all considered cryptids because a lot of people believe they exist, but there's no definitive proof that they currently exist.
Got it, okay.
Yeah. So today's cryptid, what we're going to be talking about is the Loveland Frogman. And real quick, I just want to say I'm not here to convince anyone that this cryptid exists or doesn't exist. You can believe what you want to believe. I'm just here to break down the background and the stories of it. So, Ohio. Known for being a U.S. state and not much else.
True.
I don't know what goes on in Ohio over there.
Never. It's empty, right?
Yeah.
Do people live there?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Okay, but Ohio is home to its very own cryptid known as the Loveland Frogman. First sighted in 1955 by an unknown businessman and has been sighted at least twice since then. It is a frog-like bipedal creature standing at around 3 to 4 feet tall. The first sighting of the creature has 3 different variations of the tale, all of which include the previous bipedal description that it was sighted on the man's nighttime drive home and that it was a group of 3 of these creatures.
They just walking around in a gang. I kind of love the picture of that,
No.
3 or 4 little frogs just walking down the street together.
The story, it varies about exactly where they were,
Okay.
but and what they're doing, but one of the versions says that one of them did have a blazing fiery wand above its head.
Okay, I already have a theory about the person who spotted this frogman.
Also, according to this businessman who spotted these frogmen, the creatures smelled like almonds.
Oh, this man was poisoned. This man was hallucinating. Fully poisoned and hallucinating.
I don't know if cyanide poisoning causes hallucinations.
But the scent of almond, when you drink something, it means you're poisoned.
It means it's cyanide.
Oh, then there you go.
Also,
Maybe it was slight
cyanide poisoning. Yeah. Okay, this is where the legend begins. Since then, it has become a story the people of Loveland have grown up with, literally an urban legend. The next time it was spotted was on March 3rd in 1972, nearly 20 years later. It was 1 a.m. when a police officer allegedly spotted a scaly creature run across the road in front of him. It was about 3 to 4 feet long, reptilian, with a frog-shaped head, and he then saw the creature stand on 2 legs and climb over the guardrail and out of sight.
This man saw a salamander.
4-foot-long salamander in
Sometimes
Ohio?
They get big.
In Ohio?
Weirder things have happened.
Okay. Hold on. However, 2 weeks later, a fellow police officer named Mark Matthews seemingly saw the same creature. He decided to shoot it and bring the body to the other officer who identified it as the same creature he had seen previously. The creature turned out to be a tailless iguana.
I was not super far off.
Matthews apparently told this version of the story originally to the author of a book on urban legends years ago. But the part where the creature is pointed out to be an iguana was omitted, maybe to make the story more interesting.
Yeah, definitely.
Matthews also said that the whole ordeal was a hoax and had spiraled out of control until it gained Bigfoot levels of notoriety, finishing the statement saying he didn't believe in Bigfoot either, which, thank you, Mark Matthews, for hammering in the no fun allowed sign. You win this month's Party Pooper Award.
Oh. But literally, there's nothing going on in Ohio.
Then why is he making it more boring by saying it's all fake?
Right. There's nothing going on. Our police officers hard at work in Ohio out there.
Also, Bigfoot levels of notoriety?
Yeah, no.
Everybody knows about Bigfoot.
I don't know what this thing is.
I don't think anybody outside of Ohio knows what this thing is.
Right. It's a fucking salamander. Oh, excuse me.
Okay. Finally, the most recent reported sighting of the Frogman was in 2016, which I mean was a really strange year. We've been spiraling since, so it only makes sense that the Frogman wanted some action in the news. On August 3rd, 2016, a couple were playing Pokemon Go and
Sorry.
They found a bit more than a Croagunk. Sam Jacobs reportedly saw a strange, large frog-like creature on that night and even snatched a picture of it. Although, like most pictures of cryptids, aliens, and ghosts, the quality is absolutely awful. It's too dark to make out much more than some glowing eyes. Brightening the photo does show that it looks like a frog, but it's impossible to discern the size of it. Wikipedia says that the frog seen that evening turned out to be a student in a frog costume. However, I did some digging, which, while there was a student in a frog costume doing their own bit for the internet, the frog costume wasn't much more than a giant, cartoonish frog mascot head and a cloak. It looks nothing like the unsettling frog sitting in the dark.
You know what I'm imagining? You know that really old cartoon with the frog that like only dances when nobody's looking? Hello,
Yes.
my baby.
Do you want to see what the picture was? It was actually a video. Hold on. And this is the picture of the costume. So, as you can see, there's a little bit of a difference.
That is... No, it's exactly... I see the similarities.
It's similar, but I don't think this one's gonna glow.
Oh, fuck, that's so funny.
Right? Okay, now, let's try and break some things down, debunk some things, and de-debunkify others. If that didn't make sense, great, let's go. One theory about the origin of the Loveland Frogman was that the original sighting was just a startled man who was paranoid from the recently released film, The Creature from the Black Lagoon, which was released just over a year prior.
Poor boomers. They had it so rough.
Brian Hopp, who wrote the article on the frog for Skeptoid.com, is the one who theorized this, that pop culture can influence society in this way. And this is something that happens. For example, the movie Jaws had a horrible effect on how people reacted to real-world sharks.
Yeah.
But if Hopp's suggestion has any weight, you would expect to see similar reports elsewhere. And now, I'm not saying that this isn't a possible theory. I'm just saying that from what I read and where I looked, I couldn't find any other cryptids who were first spotted in the same time period that fit the same description more or less. And I didn't look up frog cryptids. I went looking specifically for aquatic, marine, or amphibious creatures or cryptids, and looked up when they were first spotted. None of which, aside from the Frogman, were spotted in the same time period, which I determined to be 1954 to 1964. As that would be the time where the film had the most significant cultural impact.
Got it. So you're saying if the film actually had as much an impact as Hop's story, that we would have seen more of these throughout like the U.S. or
yeah.
Okay, but it's isolated to Ohio.
Yeah. So
Got it.
This I mean, it's possible that had an effect, but I don't think it is what happened.
Okay.
Again, the Frogman, at least the one spotted in the 70s, could have been an iguana, and it probably was. However, there are no pictures of said tailless iguana Matthews allegedly shot and brought back. But it isn't impossible that this was an escaped or lost pet, seeing as iguanas aren't illegal to own in Ohio. The one thing I find odd about this encounter, aside from a giant iguana being loose in the Ohio wilderness, is the part where the iguana stood on two legs. Only 2 species of iguanas can stand on 2 legs to run, neither of which grow larger than 2 feet. And, according to Matthews, the iguana he caught was about 3 to 3.5 feet long without a tail. And a tail is usually half of an iguana's body length.
Oh, okay.
Again, this is entirely still probably what happened. There's just a lot of aspects that leave a lot of unanswered questions. There's also a newspaper from 1985 claiming that the Frogman was 6 feet tall. But this is an outlier.
Is he singing?
Singing.
Is he single?
Is he single?
He's 6 feet tall. Doesn't matter what he looks like.
Damn. Hey, we don't judge here. We don't judge here. But this is an outlier, and it doesn't fit the typical description. I just wanted to include this so that we're covering all of our bases. Mm-hmm. I don't know why they described the Frogman in this way. Maybe, again, to be more dramatic or interesting. There's one more connection I found was that there were similar cryptid sightings or occurrences nearby-ish during the 70s, which was around the same time as the second Frogman sighting. There's the giant lizard of Milton, Kentucky, which would be about 100 miles away, and the Wabash River attack, which took place about 245 miles away. Significantly further, but the waterways are still shared. This might have no connection, or this could give us an area of habitat. I'm not a biologist or an environmentalist or a zoologist. I'm not even considered a cryptozoologist,
Okay.
but maybe.
I can see it.
Whether it's real or not, the Loveland Frogman is a fun urban legend to tell if you ever find yourself in Ohio for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, Ohio needs something to make it interesting, and if that's a large bipedal frog, then I say let them go crazy.
Good job, Ohio.
All of the sites that I use for reference will be in the description if you want to do your own research and look up and fact check yourself. But yeah, thank you guys for listening. I hope you enjoyed. If you want to see more of this, leave a like. Let me know what your favorite cryptid is, or let me know what cryptid you want to see me do next. I plan to do several of these. I have a list, but if you want to see something sooner rather than later, let me know. And I will dive back into the depths of the cryptid zoology universe. Have a great rest of your day, and I will talk to you later.
Bye, guys.
Bye!